Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 9 at Saratoga on Alabama Saturday is the Grade 2 Lake Placid for 3-year-old fillies on the turf. Let's take a look at this field. We are going a mile and a 16th on the Mellon turf course. Technical analysis. 6-5 on the morning line. Going to try to become the Lady of the Lake this year. She won the Lake George. She's going to try to win the Lake Placid. But Mike, you liked her last time, and was last time the time?
Maybe. I mean, I would say it was the time in some ways, just because for some reason they didn't bet her in there. It didn't feel like she was going to go off at 7-1, but somehow she did, Dan. I don't know. I think this filly's really good, and I think she's way the horse to beat in here.
Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. Technical analysis worked out just a beautiful trip under Jose Ortiz last time out. Jose was intent on getting that pocket position on the first turn. He got it, saved ground, tipped out. It worked out, and Timeform US believes a similar situation's coming here.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly one of her advantages is she has really nice tactical speed, and she did, get herself into a perfect trip last time. So we'll see if she can just land the same kind of trip. I suspect if she does, she's pretty hard to beat. I guess I could take a little bit of exception with this pace projector, Dan. I personally feel like the 6 Spanish Love Affair is going to be on the lead.
Iliogami, the number 1, 2 for 2 with Lasix. Of course, will not be racing with Lasix in a graded stakes race in New York. 2 of those wins coming on dirt. Now, she hasn't run on turf since her first 2 starts as a 2-year-old. Last time out in the Mother Goose, it didn't work out. She has a big pedigree, a big purchase price, and she's going to be a good price on the tote. Are there some things that we're missing that maybe we can look at her as a price play?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, she's definitely improved as a 3-year-old. Her first 2 starts last year, at the end of last year, as a 2-year-old, were on turf, and she just looked like a horse who was sort of still figuring things out. Very wide, I thought, in her Keeneland debut, and didn't run poorly, and then just sort of ran the same race in her second start without improving that much. But I do think she's improved as a 3-year-old. And I mean, at the end of the day, I know she's a Tappet dance. She's all turf on the bottom of her pedigree, so maybe she'll bring that improved form over to the surface.
Technical analysis has won 3 out of her last 4. The only defeat coming in the Wonder Again, a race in which she was completely pace compromised when pretty much wired by Conlima. Let's watch the Lake George last time out. We talked about the good trip that she enjoyed. She saved ground turning into the lane. Now she eases out to go after Jouster. She's going to get the jump on these closers, and she's going to outfoot them to the wire. We'll see Runaway Rumor in the red on the far outside come from last to pick up a minor award.
Yeah, I thought Runaway Rumor ran okay in this race without much of a real chance in here. But this is technical analysis, just sort of doing what she does, Dan. We talked about her tactical speed, and she has really good tactical speed. She gets good trips, but she also has really good acceleration in the stretch. I mean, I don't think she has a long run in her, but she's got a quick burst. And when they time it right, she opens up on fields. She's a really impressive horse, I think. I'm not sure how far she wants to go. She had a big excuse, too, back when they tried the 9 furlongs, where she was just wide to nowhere in a race without much pace. But I'm still concerned about distance with her. But, man, when she gets the right trip and can time her burst right, she's really, really tough to beat.
Fascinating entrant from the Brendan Walsh barn. Up next, the number 3 Ego Trip. Still a maiden after only 2 starts, but Brendan must have saw something from this race at Saratoga. Her North American debut, a maiden special on July the 24th. She is far, far behind turning into the stretch. With 3/16 of a mile to go, she has a long way to come. She's got to eventually get to the outside, and once she hops to her right lead, she comes with a very strong kick to run second.
Yeah, she ran well in here. I mean, considering the trip that she got after breaking very poorly from the gate, I mean, it does sort of feel like she was best in this race and just happened not to win. I don't love the idea of them running a maiden back in a race like this, but maybe Walsh's plan the whole time, Dan, once he got her over here, was to, break her maiden and then run in this race. So just the fact that she didn't win last time probably didn't derail them at all, because she probably would have won with the right trip.
New York bred Runaway Rumor won her first 3 starts. Then we saw her finish a belated 4th in the Lake George. She just doesn't have a lot of speed, does she? And I wonder if she's just going to be the kind of horse that's always at the mercy of race and pace luck. And in a short field like this, if they don't go fast, maybe she's in trouble. I do think she has talent.
I do too. She's a really strong finisher. And, I guess in some ways she was compromised in the Lake George last time, which just didn't go fast. I mean, Fluffy Socks, who ran second, also came from far out of it and outfinished Runaway Rumor. But Fluffy Socks also got an inside run while Runaway Rumor had to go to the outside. So maybe that made a little bit of a difference. I don't know, Dan. I just think she's pretty good. I don't think I would take 7-2 on her, which is what the morning line has on her. But if she drifts off that, I could use her.
Folks that see Love Struck at 6-1 should go back into their formulator past performances and watch the replays of their first two races, especially the career debut at Saratoga last summer, where she didn't break. She was pretty much last on the rail. She got bumped extremely hard in upper stretch, and then she won in ridden out fashion. She looked like a star, and considering her pedigree, the sky was the limit. She came back and she won the Tepin, and then she went to the sidelines. That has to be a little bit of a concern. But the last race, she probably needed it off the layoff.
Yeah, I think she probably did too. That was a pretty long layoff too. It does feel like maybe they've had some problems getting her back to the races this year, Dan. That was also a little bit of a problem with her last year. She was listed as a vet scratch a couple of times. So it does feel like, maybe she has some issues. But as you've already pointed out, she ran really well when she broke her maiden up here on a race that looked like she had tons of potential, won the Tepin very easily before the layoff. I thought personally that she looked very fresh off the layoff last time. Alvarado had, I thought, a real hard time getting her to settle early in the race. And I just appreciated the fact that she was still in contention down past mid-stretch before she finally got tired. That feels to me like it could have been a really useful run off the layoff for her. And maybe she could take a big step forward here.
Spanish Love Affair completes the field. She did finish first in the Here Comes the Bride earlier this year, was disqualified. Second in the Regret 2 starts back. Last time out the Belmont Oaks, 1.25 miles against Santa Barbara. Let's be very kind for that performance and focus more on the Regret. Now, I thought she should have won the Regret with the trip she got, but she's solid, and I'd like her at this distance, especially if she can control the pace. This is a good spot for her.
Yeah, I think it is too. I don't know how good she is, Dan, but I do think in some ways this is the right spot maybe to find out what they really have. I don't care about her Oaks last time. I thought she ran fine in the Regret. I'm with you. Maybe that's a race that if she was really good, she would have won. But maybe she doesn't want to go 9 furlongs either. So, getting a little bit of a shorter trip here could work for her. And again, I think she's going to be on the lead here. And I think that makes her dangerous.
Top pick time for the Lake Placid. Mike, you're going to look for a price. And Love Struck's first 2 starts, again, she looked like a true graded stakes horse in those races. The layoffs, the vet scratches that you mentioned, they're worrisome. But that's why you put your faith in a guy like Bill Mott at a price. You're right that she was fresh last time out. The blinkers come off, and she could be sitting with technical analysis ready to sprint on home at equal footing at the 3/16.
Yeah, I mean, I really think there's a chance she could take a step forward in here. I don't know if it'll be enough to beat technical analysis. So again, Dan, I think technical analysis is really good. And she's way the horse to beat in here. But if I'm going to bet against her, I'm going to do it with a horse like Love Struck, who I just feel like she's the one in here who you don't really know how good she could be. And if she shows it here, maybe she can pull off a little bit of an upset.
I wonder if Runaway Rumor was exposed slightly last time out in the Lake George, the first time she was really tested. I'm hoping that there's at least a fair pace for her. There was a fair pace for her last time. I just don't need for her to be too far back. I think she will kick on in the stretch and give a good performance. 5-2-3-4 for Mike, 4-2-3-6 for me. It's the Lake Placid on Alabama Saturday. Good luck.